podcast is BYOT. Bring your own tacos.
Dick swinging.
You're listening to American Slacker Podcast
We can say fuck.
with Matthew Gertz and Jesse Landers.
I don't care, I've been smoking, this is cool.
That's a decent amount of sausage.
This man needs a doctor!
Yeah, I just hope they're tasty.
What's up with these clowns, man?
Cut the lights and went through people's pockets.
Don't you point that at each other.
Let them smoke a little. You need to step it up to that point. We're not gonna lead with the.
We're not gonna leave with
Did you enjoy that Grand Theft Auto style clip that I had put up on there where it was like a dude in a half smashed up car and it's on the way to Los Santos Customs?
Yeah, that one was fucking hilarious.
It's
so true. It's so true. The fucking the wheel frame was just bent. The guy's car was fucked.
His entire door was crushed in. It's just one of the many funny videos you will find in the American Slackers Facebook group, which is now linked to our Facebook page.
Hell yeah, and we want to see more posts from the Slackers themselves. We've been getting a lot, but we want more.
Yeah, there's it's an open group, so anyone can join it right now. Maybe we'll close it off once and make it invite only once there's a lot of people in it or something. But if you search American Slacker and find our Facebook page and go to groups, it'll be linked right there and you can join in. And that's kind of a space for anyone to post anything that they find funny or noteworthy, I guess.
Yeah, hell yeah. It seems to be keeping with the theme of what you'd find on our show in itself.
It's a lot of memes.
I really like that.
And a lot of funny videos and shit.
Yeah, get it to the point where we could just steal the fucking content from you guys.
Yeah, because then we'll credit you.
Yeah.
Oh, we saw this in the group.
Hell yeah. Welcome to American Slacker, and as always, I'm Matt.
And I'm Jesse, your moderator for the time being on the Facebook group.
Hell yeah. Well, I do a little bit, not as much as Jesse.
You are a mod, technically. You have the privileges for it.
But I really just post. I'm that guy.
First off, we always want to give a shout out to our very, very awesome Patreon supporters. Up first, we have our good friend, Dave Gunn.
Yeah, we got to talk to Dave for a little bit earlier today. It was a good time. Yeah, it was good catching up with Dave. Thanks, Dave.
We also want to give a shout out to Kyle, Noel, and Bradford from the Crime Roulette podcast. Make sure to check out that show.
Yeah, they're good guys, and we've had the chance to work with them, and you'll probably hear from them again on our show.
Hopefully soon, yeah. And our very last one is Aaron W. from the Yes and I Am podcast. Be sure to check that one out. That one's a really funny one. So what do we got coming up on the show, Matt?
Well, we got an awesome array of news this time. Probably my favorite we've ever done as far as a combination of ridiculousness. Then we're going to do some suggestions of TV shows we've watched recently that we think you guys will enjoy. Then we're going to wrap it up with the Wheel of Weird. And I think we found quite a few good selections.
Definitely. And with our weird news, we always like to start out with a little bit of weed news. This time it's coming out of Northern Michigan University, which is the first U.S. college to offer medical marijuana degrees.
That's awesome. See, that's a breakthrough.
Yeah, it's definitely a way to legitimize it and, kind of get the correct education and background information on this burgeoning field, if you will.
Yeah, eventually that's going to be a normal thing.
Many people probably don't know where Northern Michigan University is. It's up on the peninsula part of Michigan, not the mainland area of it.
Yeah.
So it's up there. It's probably right by Canada. And
okay.
they're trailblazers in higher education, as this civilized .com article says. And they're offering a degree in medical marijuana. Now, it's a 4-year regular undergraduate's degree, and they say that there's nothing else like this currently existing.
Oh, yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, they're hoping it, could be a branch for people that are working towards getting this degree to work in the medical cannabis fields, or to branch off into other things like food sciences or herbal supplement sciences, like that kind of stuff as well. So it's got like multiple facets to it. So it's not just medical marijuana. It's not like you're screwed if you don't end up in one of the legal states or whatever.
Yeah, that's a very nice. Yeah,
You'd still
do
like
anything you
apply
want
it to
with
some other things.
Yeah.
And they won't actually be working with any weed, but they will be working with like similar plants, so that they'll understand the processes of how to break them down, how to analyze them, and all that kind of stuff. So that when they do end up in the field, they can use those same skills that they learned with marijuana.
Probably like plants like tomatoes and things that are like similar to grow and how they grow.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a big background in, you know, natural science and like chemistry and stuff like that. It sounds almost like a pharmacist in a way, like when you have to study like organic chemistry and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, combined with botanists.
Yeah, it's definitely a good. I'm glad that they're doing this. It's a good way to try and standardize some of the information and make sure people have like the correct abilities to be working in the medical marijuana fields.
And access to the proper procedures.
Yeah, exactly.
Growing. Because that can be like very confusing. Especially if you're not
I'm
coming from like any type of like working in any type of growing, you know.
Well, I don't know if this is concentrating necessarily on growing as much as maybe analyzing the actual like flowers and stuff like that.
Okay.
And creating other medicines from them.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So
true.
It's more. It might be more along those lines, but like they said, it could be applied to many things. So it's definitely a useful degree that will be becoming more and more useful in the future, it seems. So we'll be sure to post that up on the Facebook, like we do. We always put up our weed articles on Monday. That Facebook group we were talking about at the very beginning of the show. Be sure to go check it out if you want to read more into how to get your medical marijuana degree.
That's awesome, man.
Got to go live in Michigan though.
Hell yeah.
Nothing against Michigan. It's just cold as fuck.
Yeah, fuck that. Well, we're gonna move to a similar environment. We're going cold. Michigan to Colorado.
Okay.
Colorado Springs specifically, where Colorado police are in the hunt for the Mad Pooper.
The Mad Pooper.
The Mad Pooper. Now, it's exactly what you think. It's somebody that's leaving
I don't know what I'm
fecal
thinking.
matter at your doorstep more than on a single occasion.
This is a serial pooper.
This is all occurring in a nice little neighborhood in Colorado Springs where a victim, her name is Kathy Budd, had said the first interaction was when her kids had ran inside and said, "There's a lady outside taking a poop." Now, that's the worst thing about it.
Poor
her
children.
kids saw it.
Poor children were subjected to the Mad Pooper.
Oh my god. She ran outside and she's like, are you really taking a poop right in front of my kids? And the runner was calm about it and was like, yeah, sorry.
like you're bothering them. Like, can't you see I'm shitting in your yard? Can't you fuck off for a minute?
Yeah, and apparently
People
they haven't
these days.
caught her. Yeah, this is the first time they caught her. But they had found that somebody had left human waste in their yard on multiple occasions.
Ugh. It's like
It's dating back 7 weeks.
that's not a Pomeranian's poop.
No. Man, yeah. The
No one owns
officers are
a
stunned.
German Shepherd around here. Fucking. Well,
Yeah, you're
Burmese
just like, whoa. That's a big motherfucking dog. Man, they just can't figure out the woman's motives, and that's what the Budd family is saying is the worst part about it.
Her motive was she had to
They
poop.
want to know. They want to know why is it always at their house though.
It's just
I mean,
everyone's got their routine, you know. Like for me, I'm a morning guy. Like some other people might do it at night. Like she does it on her way past these people's house. Apparently, that's when it hits her. And when it hits you,
it's odd because I mean, dude, if she had like runner's trots, like you would like, it would not be able to control that. Like that would just happen, you know.
So, explain what this is.
Runner's trots, it's basically where like a runner can't control their bowel movements. I guess it happens because they're exercising so hard.
Okay. You push your
Yeah.
body to the extreme. I don't think that's the
guess it happens.
situation.
I don't know, man. She seems like there's one image of her and she looks like a crazy.
Was she
And it could
wearing a
be- most
windbreaker?
likely, it's diarrhea though, so I don't know if it's like they're finding a nasty mess. I haven't seen a photo. If it was solid or liquid.
With the one photo of her though, was she wearing a windbreaker and running shoes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Well, no. She was sorry. I want to say that she's wearing what do you call them? A sports bra and like track bottoms that are shorts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was imagining like she'd be wearing like a trash bag and like.
No, I guess it's relatively warm right now, or she could be crazy. I don't know.
Well, that's what I was thinking, like a trash bag and like a shopping basket on her head or something. Like that sounds like the type of person that would shit in my yard. Like not
She
someone.
does have a really short serial killer like haircut though.
Okay. It's very odd that there's no like personal vendetta against the family or anything. It's literally just like, oh, I just gotta shit here every day.
Yeah, they don't know the woman. Then they're looking for help to identify this woman.
Maybe someone paid her off to do it. They got other enemies.
Maybe, like, hey, you're always running in that neighborhood. You think you can squeeze out a shit every time you pass this house?
Target that house. Make sure you
Yeah,
hold it
children
in
right on the
until you're
driveway.
on your run.
That's horrible.
Well, I'd probably rather have this lady shitting in my yard than the next two gentlemen in North Carolina. These two guys were drinking beer, watching their lawnmower burn, shooting at cars, and setting their house on fire.
That's ridiculous.
It's
Redneck
like
City.
It's like a small GTA inside of like a person's yard.
Yeah, exactly, man. They're just fucking being reckless as shit.
Well, in Iredell County, while drinking beer and watching their lawnmower and vehicle burn, an uncle was injured after he set his house on fire.
Oh my god, too much gasoline. Too much.
Well, I don't know. They were just causing fucking chaos because the 62-year-old man and his 32-year-old nephew were in the front yard and they were watching vehicles pass by and they were shooting at them, which is when one of the people they shot at called the police. The police were sent over there where they noticed that they had a lawnmower on fire and a vehicle on fire and their house on fire.
Jesus.
It's like that's a
fucking
lot of
Christ, man.
individual fires.
Now, what kind of black metal, or what do you think the percentage at least is that they were listening to like black heavy metal?
Oh yeah, there had to have been like an old boombox from like the 80s just blaring it and like some blown out ass speakers. And they're fucking the hair on this guy it's like shoulder length, so it could be swung and headbanged for sure.
Oh yeah. That's fucking crazy.
The deputies arrived at the home. They approached them and arrested them after tasering one of the men who resisted arrest.
That's ridiculous.
Then,
How did this guy not end up dead? This is fucking madness.
yeah, it was like white guys in Carolina. We don't get political here, but I think that's what did it. The man, one of the men wriggled out of the handcuffs, and that's when they got him with the taser.
Oh my god, this is absurd. They attempted escape on multiple occasions.
The uncle was charged with resisting, obstructing, or delaying investigation with a $5,000 bond, and the nephew went back to his home. Yeah, he didn't get arrested, I guess.
That's
How
ridiculous.
did he not get arrested? I guess he just blamed his uncle. It's like my drunk
Witness.
uncle's fucking firing off guns.
Now, I wonder if he was shit-faced too. Like, did he have blood in his, or alcohol in his blood?
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. And now the guy doesn't even have a home to go back to because he fucking burned it down.
I wonder, like, what damage they did to the car as it was driving by.
That's scary as fuck. If you're like flying by a house and like all of a sudden you get like bullets ricocheting off your car or into your
You're
car.
like, probably slowing down because like there's two burning vehicles and the house is starting to smoke. You're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is going on
That's a good point. If I
here?
was passing
Ping,
that, I
ping,
would
ping.
definitely-
Jesus, man, that's every man's nightmare. You gotta be careful with firearms. You
Oh,
can't
for sure.
just be fucking blasting them all around. I mean, you're liable to shoot somebody. Now, being shot at one time in a day is pretty shitty. Now, imagine being actually shot twice in one day.
At separate occasions?
Yeah, 2 separate occasions within 7 hours.
Jesus.
Now, this all occurred
Not
in
even a
Harrisburg. Yeah, oh my god. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania's got it going on, I guess. A 24-year-old man was shot twice in the day, and apparently the first occurrence happened at 12:57 when police were dispatched to North Linden Street for reports of shots fired. They found him sitting on the steps of one house with a gunshot wound in his lower right leg. That's no good. You could fucking hit a main artery and just fucking die from blood loss so quick.
Right?
Yeah. Now, witnesses said the shots came from like a vehicle, a white vehicle, so it was a drive-by that got him. And he wouldn't release any info about what happened. He was like, I don't know who it was, you know? No information at all. It's keeping it like real chill.
Could be the truth, you know? He might not know who it was.
So once he got out of the hospital and out of the police station after that, I'm sure, at around 7:44, police were dispatched back there, where he was found shot in the groin area. So he got shot generally around the dick.
Damn. It's like the fucking second worst place to get shot, next to the head.
Dude, yeah, I'd say that's number 2. That's a fair assessment. And again, man, he would not give out any information, but you can only assume there's some kind of gang warfare going on. I mean,
someone doesn't like this guy's dick.
And either there's some really bad shots or some really asshole shooters that just like, we didn't get him in the dick first time. We gotta do it one more time.
I told you I'm gonna shoot you in your dick.
I need you to go watch the hospital and give me a call and let me know when he's out.
Jeez, man. That's unfortunate. That's
Yeah.
that's a really bad day. So the guy survived, right? We're not laughing at a dead guy.
Yeah, no, this guy's alive. He's fine. They haven't released the name of the victim, but he
needs
is
to
in
move.
stable condition. Yeah, he needs to get the fuck out of there. Apparently somebody wants him dead. Third time, he's not going to be so lucky.
Yeah, jeez. I wouldn't even risk it.
Yeah.
Shot twice within 7 hours. That's like getting shot twice at work before you get to leave.
I'd be looking at real estate in the next town or fucking next state. Fucking
go a couple
on the
states
phone
over.
as them to get in surgery.
Jeez. Well, that's a bad day. Another bad day is getting shot at by Russian helicopters.
Oh, yeah. I would imagine. Fuck that. That's pretty terrifying.
Yeah, during war games, mistakes happen. And right now there's Russian war games going on that are called Zapad 2017. It's a NATO exercise on the eastern flank run by Russian forces. And
Okay.
they basically, in military war games, they kind of set up different situations that they can, sort of play with their big toys in. So
I was going to say show off, yeah.
it's essentially
off
just
the forwards.
playing with the technology. So they had they had a parking lot that had a bunch of unmarked vehicles and then like one military vehicle, like a barrack sort of truck that had like netting over it. And this guy is filming, and you can see off in the distance there's like plane or military helicopters coming in, and as they get like almost halfway there, you just hear the fucking guns start to go off, and there's a dude maybe like 10 feet from the truck they blow up. It sends that dude flying. He gets a concussion. Cameraman,
Can you imagine?
ends up sprawled out on the fucking ground. It's a crazy video. We're gonna be sure to post it. They said they didn't mean to blow up the civilian cars as well. There's a bunch of shrapnel that kind of went through like some of the other cars that were parked there, and it definitely did some damage to things that it wasn't supposed to.
My God, that'd be so shitty if like your property got damaged. Let
Or
alone
hell,
if you were that guy.
That guy literally almost lost his life. If he had walked another 10 feet or so, they would have just blown him away.
You
He
got
would've
brought
gotten way
straight
more
into
than
an action
concussion.
movie.
Yeah,
You
it's
didn't even know it.
it's
That's
pretty crazy.
fucked up.
It's one of the more crazy videos I've seen recently. So we'll be sure to post that up. Careful where you're firing shit, even during war games. Better yet, if you're a civilian, just stay the fuck away from the war games area.
Yeah, I would be careful. Apparently there's a lot of areas you gotta be careful, man. Well, our next article is about getting attacked, but it's not as bad as getting attacked by the Russians. Cyclists taking part in a road race through the mountains of the Scottish borders were attacked by an elderly man brandishing sticks. Actually, 2 men. And they tried to block their path.
They're just sick of this cyclist shit.
Yeah, they're sick of it. They're local farmers. They're thought to be in their 70s. They were sitting there dressed in tweed and flat caps and nice little suits and sit there protesting this road closure, preventing them from getting their fields like harvested.
Okay. Yeah,
So
I guess
it's
that
kinda
would
like
kind of
fucking
slow down your progress and your field work.
Yeah, so the reason they closed the road down is because it's a 74-mile race and it begins and ends in Peebles. And so they have to come through the area and come back.
Okay.
So they close it off for a good amount of time. That way they don't have to like open it for a minute and worry about somebody who's sticking around or whatever. But these farmers
These
are
guys
pissed
don't
that
like
they're
it.
costing them fucking money.
What? So they're just like whacking them with fucking sticks as they go by, sticking them in the spokes and shit.
Yeah, they're kind of sticking them out as far as they can extend, trying to like fucking block the road. Like the cyclists are just gonna be like, oh shit.
That's
we
gonna
won't
fuck
go.
up the cyclist's time.
Yeah, and I feel like don't they have to have a permit for this race? So it's like they've cleared it with the town or the local authorities at least.
I'm not blaming these guys for being upset. You know, it's their property. They probably every year get these fucking bikes coming through, and they just want to take a shillelagh and fucking smack them with it. Is that Irish? I'm probably fucking it up.
Yeah, I think a shillelagh is Irish. It's
All right, they're whacking them
it's
with
like
sticks.
a club.
I know I'm gonna get
I
hate
wish
for
they did
that.
have shillelagh. Yeah, these are like thin, like cane sticks. They're like ones that if you got whacked with, it would just be like, oh, what are you doing? You know, it
Not enough
would be,
to
like,
hurt
deadly.
you, but enough to knock you off a bike, maybe.
Yeah. Now, it's not said if these men are going to be sought after for any criminal charges, but there is an incident reported to the police and they're looking into it. So, I don't know.
They're never gonna catch them.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no charges filed. I don't know. Looking into it, sounds like it's going to go nowhere fast. There is GoPro footage, though. Who knows? I mean,
See,
if they can identify them.
if these guys really wanted to end it, though, they just need to get tacks or rocks or something. Put it out on the road.
Oh, man, that would be a real dick move.
It's like pop all the tires.
Oh, man, or take those sticks and just try to jab them in the spokes.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. You know, the right tool could shut the whole thing down. The right tool for the job is what they always say, right?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, it gets the job done and gets it done quicker.
It was definitely something that came in handy in our next story in Salt Lake City, where 300 bats were caught by janitors using butterfly nets.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, this
That's a
Salt Lake
nightmare.
City high school had a bat infestation, and they had to cancel all their after-school programs, and school workers went in to, like, grab the fucking flying rodents. The janitors rounded up more than 300 bats from Monday through Wednesday, prompting the school to close its doors Wednesday afternoon.
Oh, my God. Wait, so it was open for two or 3 days of bat mayhem?
I think, yeah, for bat removal.
Oh, my God.
Some of the bats were caught in mid-flight using butterfly nets, while others were found sleeping in classroom corners. Those ones were probably easy to grab. Just like, get the fuck over here, you sleeping bastard. Salt Lake City School District spokesman Jason Olson says the high school lies in the migratory bat path, but the number of bats this year was above average. And if you came in contact with a bat, speak with the Salt Lake County Health Department, because rabies and shit. That's terrifying, though. I've never had a bat in my house. I think I've had a bird in my house before.
Oh, I had a bat in my house, and it was not pleasant. And luckily, I had a fishing net that is like a giant butterfly net.
Yep.
And I took care of that fucker, man. I let it fly around because I was scared deathly, and I might have been screaming like a little girl, but no, that wasn't really screaming. I was just like, this is fucked. This is fucked. If he bites me, I'm gonna get like fucking some crazy diseases.
It can't be fun. I mean, I know girls freak out because, like, when you have longer hair, generally, there's the worry
I
it's
just
gonna get
duck
caught in
low.
your hair.
I would just like duck low if he was getting ready to like fly near me.
Yeah, and hit him with
my
that
God.
net.
Got him with the net as he like landed on a curtain in the bathroom, and I
Nice.
just chucked his ass out the window. I was like, "Be free! Get out of
Get
my
out of here.
house!"
So on like a like 1 to 10 level, like what would you say catching the bat's like a 4 or something?
Yeah, that's an appropriate evaluation. It was like kind of a inconvenience, but it was like I dealt with it pretty easy. You just gotta have the right tool. Oh, I feel sorry if any kids had to deal with those bats.
Yeah, right. Seriously, it's nightmare inducing.
Speaking of kids in Saudi Arabia are gonna have to deal with some false images inside of their textbooks. It is quite funny, honestly. Now, an education minister is now apologizing for the production of this textbook in which the Star Wars Yoda character is imposed on a photograph of the late King Faisal,
Okay.
which is probably fucking incredibly disrespectful of them.
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture, and it almost looks like he's posing with like a puppet.
Yeah, man, it's a pretty good job. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say that's a good Photoshop. He's
ridiculous.
swearing that he's stressing. He's saying, "I meant no offense to the king," and he said he helped transform Saudi Arabia into the modern state that it is. Yeah, he's just like shitting because of this.
How did they end up with that picture in the book?
They can't explain it. There's an investigation going on, but they just can't explain how this fucking happened. Like, somebody obviously, there's probably a group of people that had to select, like, the images and whatnot. Somebody fucked up and they're not fessing up.
I like the tweets that are on there. Remember when Yoda signed the United Nations Charter back in 1945 with Faisal of Saudi?
Dude, yeah, and it's a great image of, like, the whole textbook, and then it's, like, a fucking tight up on that image. That's just ridiculous.
It's a hell of a good Photoshop. I do have to give him that.
Yeah, man, it looks fucking great.
But it's incorrect history. That's for damn
It's
sure.
incorrect. Yoda did not appear there. Yoda is not real. I'm sorry.
Well, that's like when
I hope we
Vader
don't lose,
crossed
all
the
of our Star
Delaware
Wars
with George
fans
Washington,
Oh, yeah.
or when Chewie went on those adventures with Lewis and Clark.
Yeah? Oh, yeah?
I'm trying to remember. There were a couple of more that they taught us about. I think Han Solo was involved with the Revolutionary War.
Shit, man. I really should have paid more attention in history class.
Yeah,
That'll get
it's
you in trouble.
I always wondered why Star Wars was so big, but it has this historical connection that many people don't know about, I guess.
It's right in front of our eyes. We just look at the big screen and that's it.
Been there the whole time. Our next story involves a drink that's usually just for kids, but we got an adult version this time. We're headed over to Burning Man, where people drank breast milk lattes.
I'm just gonna say this is one of the most absurd things that it's ever occurred in fucking Burning Man.
Besides
That I've heard of anyway.
the guy running into the Burning Man this year, that was pretty bad.
That was just sad. That's mental illness and drug use. One or the other, maybe both.
Combining in a blaze of fucking glory.
Damn.
Well, this year at Burning Man, you could have gone and got yourself a pumpkin spice breast milk latte for all the basic bitches.
That's just fucking disgusting.
No, I don't think it was pumpkin spice. I kind of just threw that in there. But at Burning Man, you're supposed to like contribute in some way. But it's really a giving economy. It's not even barter. It's just you give when people want, and when you need, you take, and people are supposed to give. And that's kind of how it works. The leader of the brand Thinks, which is a period panty company, she was out there pumping her breast milk.
Well, informing the customer, right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it's
No
very
hidden.
apparent. She's sitting there with like she's got like a custom top that just has like one pump on each breast.
Did she produce enough milk to keep the fucking the rage at Burning Man? I mean, if everybody wants this, I mean, what's she gonna do?
Well, I mean, it's like one of those artisan things, like, you know, when they like grow a single coffee bean for 10 years and then like ship it across the world to this one coffee house, and then they shave it down, hand grinded, like, you know, it's like artisan, so it takes a while.
No,
It takes a while.
It's either she's pregnant and a baby's not getting the milk it needs, or she's taking some type of supplement to induce the milk, like, lactating fucking function going on.
I think she had a kid recently.
Well, that baby should be having that milk, not all the fucking people at Burning Man.
Well, you can't bring a baby to Burning Man, so...
Stay at home with your baby. What are you doing at Burning Man?
Well, she put up an Instagram post showing her outfit and her goods, and she said, "I pump my breast every 3 hours at Burning Man and gave away most of my milk. Some people downed the whole 4 ounces hoping for a hangover cure. Some wanted it for their coffee to make lattes." Oh. So many people were excited and curious to try it. So I don't think she was actually like making lattes, but I think people made lattes from her breast milk, you know.
Do you do like goat milk, like, or any other milk besides like regular milk?
I don't think I've tried other milk besides like cow milk.
I have one of those mental blocks. I'll never try any of the other milks. Like, fuck that. Like, I don't do goat cheese because it's made with goat milk. Like,
oh, I love goat cheese. See, that's
here,
different.
Man.
I love goat cheese. It's got a really cool taste to it.
Goat cheese.
No, you're missing out on that one.
Teat, man.
I don't know if I drink goat milk straight, but like I'll eat goat cheese for days.
I don't know, something that creeps me out about that, like milking a little goat, like screaming at you, maybe doing that goat scream.
Now I don't know if I'd have breast cheese though.
Oh,
I probably have breast milk, but not breast cheese. See, that's weird. I'll have the goat cheese, but not goat milk, and I'd try breast milk, but not breast cheese.
Oh, I wouldn't do either of. No human milk at all. Whoa, maybe goat milk or cheese one day. Probably goat cheese before milk. God.
Oh, I'm getting you to try goat cheese.
Man, it's like they just tapped this woman though. Like,
well, she tapped herself. That was what she had to offer for Burning Man, and you know, people drank it. I wonder for a hangover cure, like how much truth there is to that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's a lot of those ridiculous ones. I don't believe them until I see actual like scientific research into it.
Oh yeah. In Korea, there's like a raisin
article.
There's like a raisin tea drink that's supposed to be a hangover cure.
Huh. But is there any fucking research?
Oh yeah, it works. I'll tell you from personal anecdotes.
See, and I see that works for me because I trust you, so I believe that it works.
There you go. A little bit of
vouch for it,
anecdotal
people.
evidence.
You heard it here. Order that shit online.
It doesn't taste great, I'll tell you that. The raisin tea, it wasn't my favorite, but it definitely made you feel better.
It's more of a function than like a treat.
I don't know. My girlfriend liked the taste of it. I just like it's a very strong herbal taste, and I wasn't too big on it.
Yeah, I don't fuck with the herbal. You got to cover it up with a little bit of sugar substitute for me.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. They didn't add any sugar or anything like that. It was just like straight tea.
Oh, yeah, you got to add a Splenda to that bitch.
Well, hopefully, no one's too drunk by this point in the show that they're
Fuck
needing
no.
a hangover cure yet.
No.
Well, we always like to end the news with a funny clip, and this one is kind of beer related.
Oh, it's 100% beer related. It's a fucking keg.
It's and this is how not to open a keg.
Oh, man. I mean, I can only imagine this guy. He found the tap and he's like, "This is the best tap you can get. It's nice and it's like steel, sharp." But he thinks that you have to tap it literally like you're tapping a fucking maple tree.
Yeah, he's like slamming it in with a wooden peg. It was going wrong from the start because you could see beer was going everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's a disgusting mess, and I don't know where they are, but it definitely doesn't look like a residential place. It looks like it's commercial.
It looks like a classroom or a dorm or something.
Can you imagine?
So this
maybe
guy's
it's for beer.
This guy's slamming the tap, and then he drops the piece of wood he's slamming it with, steps out the piece of wood, completely face plants, making the beer just now a fountain, essentially, because there's no tap in it.
I mean, I don't want to keep going on about the video, but can we just address how this is like a 50-year-old possibly male that has never tapped a keg before?
Well, I don't think I've ever tapped a keg, not from the side like that. Isn't it like a?
I mean,
you do it on the top.
You never. That's not tapping a keg. He's fucking puncturing the side of a highly compressed fucking metal can of fucking beer.
It's like taking a dust off and like fucking driving a nail into it.
I mean, I've been at a party where there was kegs and I've seen you were definitely there seeing. I can vouch for this. You've seen kegs get tapped. I know you've seen that much.
Yeah.
This is not the right way.
No. I mean, that's what confused me originally. I was like, normally you put it in the top, but I don't know. Maybe he's got some other type of thing that I'm not aware of.
Oh my god.
Because then you get the little. Because then you get the pump to like have it come out with the little hose. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I went to too many college parties. I don't know what this guy's trying to pull off.
I don't know, man. Sad story.
It's a hilarious story. Beer went everywhere. It's a beer split. It's a sad story for alcohol that day. It's a lot of alcohol being abused.
Yeah. Nobody gets alcohol.
So we'll post that up on our Facebook page like we do every Wednesday, and our weed article every Monday. Make sure to check those out. Now we're moving on to some TV suggestions.
Hell yeah, we got some good ones.
Yeah, the one that I want to cover first is called Insecure. So Insecure follows the awkward experiences and racy tribulations of a modern-day African-American woman. And it's basically like, you know, a group of friends. It focuses on Issa, who is the main character, and she's also the writer and the creator of the show. So she stars in it, she writes it, she produces it, does all that shit. Oh, Larry Wilmore is also involved with creating it. I didn't realize that. You might recognize him from The Daily Show. He also had the Larry Wilmore Show on Comedy Central for a while. But Insecure Season 1 has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and Season 2 also has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, both of which can be found on HBO. I started watching it with my girlfriend, just randomly, you know. I had heard good things about the show, and I wanted to give it a try. And the characters are really, like, you start to feel for the characters. It's one of those, it's not like Walking Dead where, oh, people are going to die off and stuff like that. But you get really emotionally involved with, like, the relationships between these people on screen.
I would imagine it's more of an adult-oriented, like, show, right?
I would say young adult, you know. She's living in LA. She kind of, in the first season, her and her boyfriend break up. And she's sort of looking for that next thing in life. She's trying to, like, figure herself out. She's been in this relationship for a while that kind of wasn't working or was starting to fall apart in some ways. So it follows her through her and her boyfriend or her ex-boyfriend through different paths that they take on their life, and how they can how they come back together and merge every so often.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's a realism to a lot of people in life. I mean, it's cool that they're actually touching on a realistic subject like that. Yeah, and it's a most if not all black cast, which is pretty cool. I'm glad to see people of color in a full cast rather than it being a whole bunch of white people. Yeah, and like one or two, and it's like, come on, guys, like, what the fuck? I'm definitely gonna check this one out. Yeah, it's a good couples show too. Yep, you know, I'll have to do that with my lead. So that's Insecure. It's on HBO. There's 2 seasons out now. Go fucking binge that shit. Now, the one that I'm covering, the show is awesome. It premiered on Netflix this month. It's called American Vandal. Now, it's a mockumentary series, and it's like a satire of true crime. So it's pretty interesting, and it all occurs at a high school. Now, this is one of the most interesting, like, mockumentaries I've seen, because it's all based around this senior that gets accused of spray painting 23 dicks on different cars. Well, 23 cars with dicks. Some of the cars had multiple dicks. Now, I know you got the chance to see this, Jesse, and yes, hashtag who drew the dicks. Oh my god, yeah, hashtag who drew the fucking dicks. It's a hell of a hashtag. Yeah, I looked it up earlier, and it was all people like, this series is amazing. Everybody needs to check this out. Who drew the dicks? But yeah, I loved it, and yeah, I gotta say, like, we had talked about it, the ending is a little odd. You take away what you want from it, you know? But you gotta you gotta stick through. I don't want to spoiler alert anybody. I'm not gonna say I didn't like the ending, but, like, it didn't give you a lot of closure. Yeah, it's odd. Yeah, it's definitely weird. It goes another path that you wouldn't expect. Yeah, there's a lot of twists and turns in it, and there's, like, the morality of journalism and, like, exposing people's secrets, like whether or not it's right to do that in pursuit of the truth. Yeah, just trying to stay true. Yeah, exactly. And Yeah, they do a great job of capturing like the moments you would expect from this to be like it's shot in the form of like a high school student who's doing the documentary, not like a professional film crew like The Office or anything. And I think they do a good job at capturing what it would be like,
Yeah.
with like a decent crew, you know, of high
Yeah,
schoolers.
definitely. They had like a 3-person crew. It was like the main dude and then like a side guy kind of helping him and then the main cameraman. And they were part of like the AV club. That's why they had like the access to it. It's cool. I really like the angles they took with everything.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out on Netflix. And as always with Netflix, they release the whole fucking series, so you can just go right ahead and fucking binge the fuck out of that.
Yeah, only 8 episodes too.
Only 8 episodes. It doesn't take that long to get through. It's worth it. It'll get you thinking.
Yeah, it's funny. Hashtag who drew the dicks.
Yeah, trending.
Those are 2 TV suggestions for you. That gives you more than the movies. Whenever we do a movie, it's like you can watch the movie and you're done. Now you got a ton of shit to watch. You got 2
Fuck yeah.
seasons and then an 8-episode miniseries.
That's like, yeah, that's over a day's worth of video. Come on.
And if you end up watching this, we want to hear what you have to say about it on the American Slackers group.
Yeah,
Be sure to
fuck
go
yeah.
post over there. Hashtag who drew the dicks.
Fuck
I want to
yeah.
see a plethora of hashtag who drew the dicks on the American Slacker group.
Yeah, we can start a non-spoiler alert thread for the people that have finished the series, so we can discuss.
Yes, that's
shit.
a really good idea. I hope someone out there has some extra theories for us.
Oh yeah, I'm
figure
on
this
to the
out.
theories about these types of shows. Like, this is crazy. Well, we're gonna move along to the Wheel of Weird.
We always love the Wheel of Weird. The way this works, we have a person, place, and thing pulled from the pages of the Wiki Unusual. We spin a fidget spinner, and whatever it happens to
How you
land
gonna tell
on.
them what the wheel is?
Well, it's
The
a
secret
Batman. It's a Batman fidget spinner. If that makes it any
is.
better.
It is. It has
Little batarang.
a gold painted edge on one side, so we know which way we're spinning. And whenever it lands on a person, place, or thing, we know what we're talking about. So, for our person, we have the Zombeetles. Very, very interesting group, as you could probably imagine where we're going with that. The place, we have Centralia, Pennsylvania. Very, very interesting dark town. And then for our thing, we have Fan Death, which
All right,
You'll just have to wait.
place a couple of times in a row now, so I'm hoping we
Yeah.
get something a little different.
hopefully not. We're still spinning.
It's all
like
they're
a couple
all
seconds.
interesting, so no matter what, we
Yeah.
can't lose.
Yeah, man. We're still spinning, man. So
Are you
you're
a
just
gamble-
psyched about those Eagles, man, huh?
Oh, I'm really psyched about
about
those
those
Eagles. They
Eagles?
just beat the Giants. I think it was like by 3 points or something like that. I didn't get to see the game, but I did rub it in the face of a couple Giants fans on Facebook. So
Oh yeah, they were talking all kinds of smack.
all
Yeah.
it takes is a little eagle emoji to piss people off.
They're done. They're done. Well, you win again because I believe this is the one that you wanted to cover.
Oh man, are we talking about the Zombeetles?
It's on the border, but it is Zombeetles.
Nice. The Zombeetles. I've been pumped about talking about them since I found them. Actually, they're a zombie parody version rock group of the Beatles. They're out of Madison, Wisconsin. A band called the Gomers, and the group had a little bit of YouTube notoriety when they made a 2006 video for A Hard Day's Night of the Living Dead. And it gained some status when horror film director and musician Rob Zombie chose to feature it as one of his top Halloween YouTube videos in 2007.
That's awesome. Yeah,
So
these guys
it took
are
them a year,
taking their own
but
spin.
It,
Having
yeah, it,
fun
kind
with
of
it.
came up on it.
What was the name of the song?
It was A Hard Day's Night of the Living Dead.
Okay, and that's a song, or is that the name of their album?
Well, A Hard Day's Night was, I think, an album by the Beatles. So then
Okay.
they crossed that with Night of the Living Dead, and they have a lot of content up on YouTube. They also go by kind of parodied versions of the Beatles' names. They have Jaw Lennon, so it's like Jaw for John, and then Lennon for Lennon, and then they have Paul McCartney, Gorge Harrison, Dingo Scar, Killy Essen, and Eat Breast for Pete Best.
That's
Which,
awesome.
I'm guessing these are like fill-in people because there's Billy Preston and Pete Best, but I'm not. I like some of the Beatles songs, like the bigger hits, but I'm not like any aficionado on them.
Now, I actually have a sample from I Want to Eat Your Hand. Do you want to hear it?
Oh, I'd love to hear I Want to Eat Your Hand.
It's catchy.
It is catchy.
I mean, it's not like the groundwork was laid out for him already or anything, but.
So yeah, they have a bunch of other songs along with I Want to Eat Your Hand. They have Halp for Help, 8 Brains a Week for 8 days a week. They have Brain for Rain, Hey Food for Hey Jude.
Oh yeah, I did like that one. I heard that one.
So yeah, it's if you want to check out any of the Zombeatles stuff, it's all up on YouTube from what I understand.
Yeah, that's where I pulled the clip. You can find all of their songs, I would say. I don't think they're trying to make money. I just think they're having fun with it.
So jam out to the Zombeatles, watch some Insecure and American Vandal, and avoid those Russian helicopters.
Yeah, fucking hey with those Russian helicopters. They're fucking scary, man. Be safe, people. Mainly, I guess, are people in Alaska, because you never know. One comes adrift over the sea. Who knows? Well, I think it's time to say our goodbyes. But before we do, we got some plugs. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram by searching American Slacker Podcast. You can find our website and our email at americanslackerpodcast.com or at Gmail. Check us out on Spotify, where you will find all the artists that we have covered on the show. And I think we're over 3 hours of content on there, so...
Nice.
Bunch of good music. Good genre mix-up.
Yeah, all kinds of artists on there. You can also find us on Twitter and Reddit at AMERSLKR Podcast. Please rate and review the show on iTunes. 5 stars or nothing. It means
Nothing.
a lot to us.
Can we talk about the 4-star guy again? I'm sorry. We shouldn't. Keep going. Go.
5 stars or nothing. So also tell a friend about the show if you have a friend who would be interested, and if they're not familiar with the podcast format, send them on over to our YouTube channel where we have all of our past episodes along with our bonus content and all that fun stuff. Please think about becoming a Patreon sponsor. Those awesome people that we talked about at the top of the show, you could be one of them. For a small bit of support, you get access to a whole bunch of different gifts that we offer to you, along with that shout out, asking us questions, getting our gamer tags so that you can play Xbox with us, and we'll add you and do all that fun stuff.
Yeah, we're going to continue to put up some pretty cool content that's exclusive to the Patreon. So, yeah, I mean, check it out. And we're still calling out any animators. We need somebody. We haven't found the right guy yet.
Or lady.
Or lady. You're right.
Any
anybody.
animator we'll take.
If an alien comes to me and says, "Hey, I can animate," I'm gonna be like, "All right, this is weird, but you're fine.
Let's do it. Let's see what you got."
Yeah. And don't forget to check out our personal Instagrams and Snapchats and gamer tags. Instagram, find me on MWG Media. On Snapchat and my gamer tag, you will find me at Matty G from HP.
And you can find me on all the social media platforms and my gamer tag at Landers the Plane.
Alrighty, until next time. That's it.
There you go.